There's a client I worked with about 8 months ago. 42 years old. Software engineer. Working fully remote. Bought 12 acres in East Tennessee. And she called me and said, "I don't want a farmhouse. I don't want a log cabin. I don't want anything that's going to require a construction crew for 6 months. I want something fast, durable, small enough to heat with a single wood stove, and with enough room for my tools and my animals." I showed her a tiny barndominium. She broke ground 4 months later. Moved in 7 months after that. And the last time she called me, she said it was the best decision she'd ever made. I'm going to tell you exactly why. If you're on a homestead path, or thinking seriously about one, subscribe to Barndominium Haven right now. We cover the real builds, real costs, and real decisions that actually work for the way homesteaders actually live. Hit the bell. Stay till the personal take section, because I'm going to tell you exactly which direction I think makes the most sense for a homestead build in 2026, and it might not be the direction you're expecting. Let's go. Let's be honest about who we're talking about before anything else. Because homesteader in 2026 doesn't mean what it meant 50 years ago. It's not exclusively the off-grid survivalist with no internet connection and a root cellar. It's a much broader range of people. It's the remote worker who left the city, bought rural land, and wants to grow their own food, raise some animals, and stop paying rent to someone else. It's the retired couple who spent 40 years working toward a piece of land they can actually do something with. It's the young family that looked at suburban housing costs, did the math, and decided that a smaller house on real land made more financial sense than a bigger house in a subdivision. And what all of them have in common? They need a home that works with the land, not against it. That's modest in its footprint. That's durable. That's practical above everything else. That doesn't cost so much to build that it consumes the budget they need for the actual homestead, the equipment, the fencing, the water systems, the animal infrastructure. That last point is the one most people miss. Here's a conversation I've had more times than I can count. Someone comes to me with a piece of land and a budget of, let's say, $250,000 for everything. Land was $80,000. That leaves $170,000 for the home and the homestead build-out. And they want a 1,800 square foot farmhouse. Which in 2026, even in a mid-cost market, is going to cost $180,000 to $280,000 to build finished. That's before a single fence post, before a chicken coop, before a well, before a septic system, before a tractor. The house consumed the entire homestead budget. And now they're living in a beautiful farmhouse on 12 acres with no equipment, no infrastructure, and no money to build what they actually came out here to do. That's the trap. And the tiny barndominium is the exit from that trap. Let me break down specifically why the tiny barndominium works for homestead life. Because it's not just about being smaller and cheaper. It's about what the design actually does for the way a homesteader lives. First, the footprint. A tiny barndominium of 600 to 900 square feet leaves the rest of the land for what it's actually for. Gardens. Animal areas. Workshop space. Pasture. The house isn't the centerpiece of a homestead. The land is. The house is where you sleep and cook and store things. A tiny barndominium understands that in a way that a 2,000 square foot traditional build doesn't. Second, the utility. Steel frame construction on a homestead isn't just about cost. It's about maintenance. Wood rots. Wood warps. Wood invites termites and moisture issues that a homesteader dealing with a lot of outdoor work doesn't have time or budget to manage constantly. A metal building doesn't rot. It doesn't warp. The roof that's on it today is going to be on it in 2056. For someone who's choosing a forever property, not a 5-year investment, that matters enormously. Third, the workshop integration. Most homesteaders need a workspace. Not a garage. A real workspace. For equipment maintenance, for food processing, for tools and repair work. A tiny barndominium with a lean-to addition, a covered structure attached to the side of the main building. Gives you that workspace for significantly less money than building it separately. Let me walk you through the floor plan thinking that I've seen work consistently on homestead builds. 800 square feet. Single slope roof. 1 bedroom. 1 bathroom. Open kitchen and living. That's the core. But here's the specific element that makes it work for homestead life. The utility entry. A dedicated entry space, not a full mudroom, just a functional zone. Between the exterior door and the living space. Somewhere to pull off muddy boots without tracking it through the kitchen. Somewhere to hang up wet work gear. A utility sink right there at the entry so you can clean up before you go any further into the house. This sounds simple. It is simple. And it's the thing I see homesteaders wish they had more than almost anything else when it's not in the design. Add 60 to 80 square feet at the entry for utility function. It changes daily life completely. The lean-to addition, typically 12 to 16 feet deep, the full width of the building, on the north or west side depending on orientation. Handles the equipment, the chest freezers, the food storage, the gear. Not the living space. Keep the living space clean and the workspace right next to it. That's the whole trick. Okay. My favorite feature. The covered lean-to. I know. It sounds almost too basic to be a favorite. But hear me out. On a homestead, you are outside in all weather. Rain, mud, cold, heat. A covered lean-to on the side of the main building means you have a protected workspace that's a literal step away from the living space. Not a walk across a yard in the rain. I've seen homesteaders put their chest freezers there, the ones full of meat from the animals they raised. Their firewood stack, protected and dry, close to the door. Their tool wall, organized and accessible. Their seed starting area in early spring, protected from frost but out of the living space. All of that. Right there. Under the roofline. One step from the kitchen. That's not a feature. That's a lifestyle upgrade. And it costs roughly $15,000 to $25,000 to add to a build. One of the highest return on investment decisions available in homestead construction. The mistake. Making the living space too big and the utility space an afterthought. Every time. Someone starts with 800 square feet and a lean-to. Then they add a second bedroom, for guests. Then they add a home office, just a small one. Then the kitchen gets bigger, we just need a little more counter space. And by the end, they've got 1,400 square feet of conditioned living space and a 10-foot lean-to that can barely fit a lawnmower. The lean-to got compressed so the living space could grow. And now they're living in a house that's too expensive to heat, too expensive to build, and doesn't have enough covered utility space to actually run a homestead from. Stay small on the inside. Go big on the covered outside. That ratio is the whole thing. If you need more interior space, build a second small structure on the property later. Don't compromise the utility coverage that makes homestead life actually work. Real numbers. 2026 mid-cost rural markets. Tiny barndominium, 800 square feet conditioned, single slope roof, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, utility entry, plus 14 by 30 foot lean-to addition. Steel kit and erection, $22,000 to $32,000 foundation, cabin slab plus lean-to, $13,000 to $19,000 closed cell spray foam, $11,000 to $16,000 plumbing, 1 bath, kitchen, utility sink, $8,500 to $12,500 electrical, $7,000 to $10,500 HVAC. Single zone mini split plus wood stove rough in, $5,500 to $8,500 septic, $9,000 to $14,000 well, $8,500 to $13,000 windows and doors, $5,500 to $8,000 lean-to framing, roofing, concrete floor, $16,000 to $25,000 interior finishes, flooring, drywall, kitchen, bathroom, $14,000 to $22,000 contingency, 15%, $18,000 to $27,000. Total realistic build cost, $138,000 to $207,500 fully finished, living space and lean-to, mid-cost US. Market, 2026. Now here's the number that actually matters for a homesteader. If your total land plus build budget is $250,000. Land at $80,000, build at $145,000 to $175,000. You've got $25,000 to $75,000 left for the actual homestead. That's a real tractor budget. That's real fencing budget. That's a chicken coop, a small greenhouse, water storage infrastructure. That's the homestead you came out here to build. Compare that to putting $220,000 into a 1,600 square foot farmhouse and having nothing left for the actual land work. I'm not going to tell you this is perfect. It's not. 800 square feet is small. If you've got a partner, you need to be honest about whether you can both live well in 800 square feet long term. Not just for a weekend. Long term. Every day. Rainy days when you can't go outside. Days when you're both sick. Days when you just want to be in a different room from each other. 800 square feet requires a level of organizational discipline and personal compatibility that not every couple has. Be honest about that before you break ground. Financing is the same challenge as any barndominium. Conventional lenders still treat them as non-standard. Portfolio lenders, USDA Rural Development, owner-builder cash builds, those are your realistic options. And the lean-to is not conditioned space. In Minnesota in January, your chest freezer is fine out there. You are not. Plan for what the lean-to realistically serves in your specific climate, not just in the warm months. Here's my honest opinion. I think the tiny barndominium is the most practically intelligent homestead home choice available in 2026. Not the most impressive. Not the most photogenic. The most practical. And I think homesteaders, real homesteaders, not lifestyle content homesteaders, already know this. The people I see choosing tiny barndominiums for homesteads aren't doing it because it's a trend. They're doing it because they did the math. They realize the house is a tool. It keeps them warm. It keeps them dry. It gives them a place to cook and sleep and store things. And the less budget they put into the house as a statement, the more budget they have for everything the land is actually supposed to do. That's not minimalism as an aesthetic. That's financial discipline in service of a real goal. And I respect that enormously. Here's the one thing I want you to remember from this video. The house budget is competing with the homestead budget. Every dollar you put into extra square footage on the house is a dollar that doesn't go toward the reason you bought the land. The tiny barndominium wins on a homestead not because it's architecturally superior, but because it knows what it's for. It's a tool. A warm, dry, practical tool. With a covered lean-to that lets you actually run a homestead right next to the front door. If that resonates, subscribe to Barndominium Haven. Tell me in the comments, how many acres are you on, or planning to be on? And what's the homestead plan? I read every comment. I want to know where you are in this process. And I'll see you in the next one.